We have a special guest with us. He's a former police officer and criminal justice adjunct professor. He received the National Stand Award from the American Civil Liberties Union for his work on criminal justice reform and police misconduct. He is the host of the progressive radio show News Views with Garland Nixon and the political analyst in Washington, D.C. Please welcome friend of the show, Garland Nixon. Hi, Garland.
Hey, thanks for inviting me, Jim.
So it's a bad times to be saying hi to you. I understand. I want to let people know what happened to you. You got banned from Twitter.
Permanently. Suspended.
Permanently.
Yeah.
And so here's what the tweet was that got you banned. You said Secretary Blinken's to-do list, blow up Nord Stream pipeline, check, did it. Overthrow Pakistani government, check, did it. Try to rub out Imran Khan. Who is that?
He's the former prime minister of Pakistan, who they overthrew, and then
they tried to
right. Yeah, he got shot in the leg. Luckily, they didn't get him.
More money for Azov Nazis. 4, Istanbul go boom. 5, personally strangle some Palestinians to death with your bare hands. Now that's obviously a joke. So that's obviously a joke, and you got banned for all this stuff is actually accurate, except for that one, which is obviously a joke. And so you got this. This happened. Your account, Garland Nixon, has been suspended for violating Twitter rules, specifically for violating our rules against hateful conduct. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people. You weren't. No. On the basis of race, ethnicity, you weren't doing that. You weren't threatening anyone. You were saying this guy, you were making an exaggerated joke about what the Secretary of State, a very powerful person, does metaphorically.
Yeah.
Note that if you attempt to evade a permanent suspension by creating new accounts, we will suspend your new accounts. If you wish to appeal the suspensions, please contact our support team. So Elon Musk says, as is obvious to all but the media, there is not one permanent ban on even the most far left account. So that's a lie. That's not true because he just banned you.
And I'm far left. Well, and here's the thing about it, Jim. Yeah, go ahead.
So is everything in your tweet accurate then? Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line. Certainly, it's satire. Saturday Night Live, comedians do satire. I have a lot of fun on Twitter and I do satire. But the problem, I think, with this tweet is that I went after the establishment narrative on foreign policy, on the treatment of Palestinians, et cetera. And that's not allowed. So it was clearly, it has to be satire for this reason, because I don't write Tony Blinken's to-do list. So clearly it couldn't be an actual literal to-do list. It had to be satire. And it says hateful conduct. Here's the thing about it. Lindsey Graham literally said he called for the assassination of Vladimir Putin. The guy, Borelli is the former CEO of the Venezuela's oil company. He threatened to murder Nicolas Maduro, right? Adam Kinzinger, you can find where he's threatening to beat people up. So you can find any number of tweets that actually would fit the standards that they set forward regarding hateful conduct. Mine is just comedy and it doesn't. Why I think this particular instance is of great consequence is because Elon Musk said, this is going to be different. I'm buying it, and I'm buying this now, and it's going to be free speech. And of course, we claim we would always argue and say, yeah, well, it's free speech unless you go after the establishment narrative. I went after the establishment narrative, and in opposition to their own actual rules, they suspended me. And might I add, it said you could appeal. I tried to appeal. I wrote up my little appeal. I clicked, and it said, oops, something went wrong. I kept a screenshot of that. It said, oops, something went wrong. I then checked my email. The second I tried to appeal, I got another email that said, this is a permanent suspension. You can't appeal it. You can't do anything. You're done. So, but the bottom line is, as you've heard many times, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Well, here, Dan Cohen, friend of the show, he kind of caught this, that you were the victim of a NAFO, the troll army of NAFO. What does NAFO stand for? Do you know?
It's North Atlantic Fellows Association.
That's it, Fellows.
It's a U.S. intelligence agency sponsored troll farm that's started by this guy that's like a Nazi supporting guy in Poland. Oh, what a shock!
So he so he figured that out. So it's these NAFO troll farms that are pro-war, pro-Ukrainian war, all that stuff. And then here they are bragging about it. They show when you report a tweet, Twitter will then send you a report back, and they're posting the reports back saying we took down that guy's stuff, and they're bragging about it. Hey, everyone, the Garland Nixon clown has been taken down. They win.
Right. And you know what, here's what, because I had some people say to me, well, you put the word strangle in and that may have been caught an algorithm. I'm like, yeah, a week and a half ago, because it was like a week and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
It's 7 to 10 days ago. I did this tweet, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, boom, 9 o'clock in the morning, I get an email that, you know, okay, you're gone. So if the algorithm would have caught it, it would have caught it immediately, number one. But number two, it wasn't the algorithm. It was these people all sending something to Twitter, which means this. It means somebody at Twitter literally looked at that tweet, read it, and said, let's suspend this guy.
Yeah.
And what reason would they have for suspending something that's obviously satire?
They let people advocate for war on Twitter all the time. They let people advocate for assassinations on Twitter. They let people advocate for nuclear war. How about we change just a couple of words on this and tell me what you think. At Vladimir Putin to-do list, and let's go to the bottom. Yeah.
Personally strangle some Ukrainians to death with his bare hands. Do you think that gets thrown off?
No, that does not get thrown off.
It gets boosted.
That's right.
Every blue check mark, yay! But because it's Blinken, because it's Palestinians, so the third rails under Elon Musk are the exact same third rails under whoever they were before.
So here's what, by the way, that this account is now suspended. Did you know that? This plant at Plant Wisconsin?
Why?
I don't know why. We just went to try to find it, and it's suspended. So Fiorella Isabel says, so Garland Nixon got suspended because he pissed off Anthony Blinken in the State Department with the truth? So much for free speech, Elon. Exactly. Outrageous. Elon Musk is bringing back establishment figures like Kathy Griffin, Jordan Peterson, and Babylon Bee, and just suspended Garland Nixon, a black reporter making real criticism of U.S. foreign policy. Musk appears to be retrenching Twitter's establishment orientation. Yes, that's exactly.
It's not a free-for-all hellscape, Jimmy.
It's the... Dan Cohen says, while Garland Nixon is censored for joking about Anthony Blinken acts of violence, neocon congressman and NAFO troll Adam Kinzinger threatens actual violence, almost like new boss Elon Musk's censorship regime is just like the woke crowd he took over from. So here's Adam Kinzinger, and he says, literal evil. If I met you in person, it would not end well for you. Sicko. Trolls who have never done a thing in their life pretend to be. So he's threatening someone.
Oh, that's not at Garland.
No, that's Adam Kinzinger.
I thought he was talking about the Nazis in Ukraine. Like, jeez.
So Caitlin Johnstone says if he doesn't get unbanned, at least Garland went out with a real banger of a last tweet. Talk about leaving it all in the ring.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm glad this happened in a way because, you know, there have been people who have, you know, all these people are celebrating. Yay. You know, he let Trump back on. And here's the thing about letting Trump back on Twitter. It's a good business move. If I own Twitter, I would. If Trump starts tweeting on Twitter, you know, CNN and MSNBC will lose their minds. They'll play it 24 hours a day. Everyone will, and everybody will go on Twitter and follow him by the millions per minute. So it was a good move economically to bring Twitter back. I mean, to bring Trump back to Twitter. And, you know, Kathy Griffin, oh, really? She's going to push back against the military-industrial complex? Bring her back.
Yeah, well, remember when we did the thing about him not letting Alex Jones? I was like, I doubt this is his personal story of his loss of his son. This is, I got to give some to them, and the things I can do that with are Alex Jones, anybody that goes against the war machine I work with, and Kathy Griffin. We'll return the Kathy Griffin from.
Although I must update you, Jimmy.
What?
There has been an update. That I don't know if you've maybe haven't heard about it. There is an update. So what happened was, in a big update, everybody's going to want to hear this. Well, you know, I got calls from various, you know, because I do a lot of stuff all over the world, Galloway and RT and people were sending me links to documents in languages that I didn't even understand or recognize, about this. People, because I do a lot of international stuff. We're all over the world. They're complaining. Everybody's complaining to Musk, right? This is going on like for 24 straight hours. And I look at one, and I don't know if you've seen this tweet. So I look at 146, and this is what Musk tweets. Should Twitter offer a general amnesty to suspended accounts, provided that they have not broken the law or engaged in egregious spam? That is still up. The last I saw, it was 77% yes. So if it happens that he gets a lot of pressure and he opens it back up, great. But one thing's for sure. This was exactly what everybody claimed that was the problem. This is exactly what Elon Musk said he was going to change when he bought Twitter, and he has done the opposite. It is obvious. It's a wonderful thing that happened because everybody needs this kind of transparency.
You turned out to be a real Jon Stewart of capitulation.
Well, listen, Garland, we wish you the best and look forward to. I have a feeling you're going to be back on Twitter. I just have that feeling. So,
well, more than likely, I have heard from pretty good insiders. They actually have this like software that is connected to like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, so that they all can look at that and they'll just say, okay, we got rid of this guy, and it goes from one to the other, and they all can see it. And so, in other words, I wouldn't be shocked if rather than being back on Twitter, I'm off of YouTube and Instagram and the rest. That's probably more likely.
That's very possible, right? Because that's what Jen Psaki said. Hey, if someone gets kicked off one platform, they should be kicked off all platforms. It's like, holy cow.
She's a real
maybe
innovator.
if I start a Twitter account that's like the Tony Blinken fan club or something like that, they'll let me back on.
Yeah. Garland Nixon, the host of News Views with Garland Nixon. Everybody check it out. Thanks for coming on, pal. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you November 26th. That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving in Burbank. And then all December, we're going to be in Los Angeles doing Friday night shows. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member. While you're there, you get all of our videos unedited. jimmydore.com, not Jimmy Dore Comedy.